Good morning. How are you? Happy Friday. Happy Foodie Friday. This is Tanya coming to you live from Lethbridge, Alberta, Canada. And if you are just landing on my page and you've never met me before, I just want to give myself a little introduction so that you can see where I am here and what our background is and why am I here today. So first of all, thank you again for stopping by. You have landed on mine and my husband Derek's business page, and we are online entrepreneurs, and we have been for almost 6 years now. And I wanted to just give a little background. We are actually from Ontario, Canada, in Kitchener, and we moved here just over 3 years ago for a better lifestyle for our family. So now my husband has a way shorter commute. We are able to spend more time together with our friends too, but our family, going to the mountains, hiking, doing all kinds of outdoor activities with them. We just started taking up a new sport that we had never done really before that often. Actually, we did it a bunch of years ago, but it's frisbee golf or disc golf. So that's one of our favorite pastimes as well. But enough about us. I'm here to actually share with you a recipe that I want to have you join me today in my kitchen. And I've got to read it off because it's a little bit of a long one. It's chocolate cranberry oatmeal cookies with walnuts. So I hope that you enjoy making this as much as I do. And while we're at it, I want to know where you're tuning in from. Where are you located in the world? Because we are global, and we love to see how global we actually are. And also, I do these every week, so you can always go back in time on our page and gather up all the recipes for the last, I think now I'm coming up onto 4 months. So you can, put those in your archive, you can share them, you can do whatever you like. They're on a Google Doc, so you go back on some of those Fridays and you'll find those for yourself. And after this, I will also share it in the comments, so you can always come back here and grab the recipe and again, try it out for yourself, see if this is something that your family will enjoy. There's something for everybody. There's a little bit of chocolate, a little bit of cranberry, a little bit of oats. So you can use this as a meal snack, I guess. It wouldn't be a full meal, but a meal snack or on the go or a snack in the afternoon, whatever you wish, even a dessert at night. I love how versatile these are. Okay, so what I'm going to do to get started, first of all, is give you a couple of tips. So normally what I'll do is I'll take out all the ingredients, grab them from my pantry, and then put them out in front of me so I can measure them all. So for today, and for the purposes of this episode, I usually pre-measure everything so that it's all done and ready to go, and we can go through this rather quickly. You can do the same. You can grab out all your ingredients. The reason I say that is because I know in the past, I would try and take out one at a time and try to keep, tidy and keep everything, organized. But what I found was I was spending more time walking back and forth, grabbing the ingredients and then going back and then measuring and then having to reread the recipe. So hopefully that's a little bit of a tip for you, that you'll know to just grab everything all at once and have it at your fingertips. And even all your, I've got my bowl here in front of me, and I've got my utensils here. And the other one I want to mention is that you'll want to preheat your oven, because that gives you time for the oven to preheat while you're preparing your batter or whatever it might be. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that, and it's for 350 degrees today. And the cookies shouldn't take long. I believe it's 10 to 12 minutes, so not too long. And it says about 4 dozen, but I always usually half that because it depends on how big you make your cookies. So you could probably, be rest assured it'll be about 2 dozen cookies. So I'm just going to turn the oven on to 350. And then what I do is I will prepare them, have them baking after this episode, and then that way I can come back and show you the finished product. Other than that, you'd be waiting here for quite a long time. So I usually give you a finished product so you can see for yourself as well, what it looks like after it's all said and done. So I've got my bowl here, and the first thing that it says to do is to beat the sugars, egg, vanilla until thoroughly blended. For cookies, sometimes I like to just do it by hand. I find that you can actually overdo it if you are using a hand blender. So for the purposes of this cookie, I'm going to actually do it by hand. So it's got half a cup of butter softened. So I'm just going to grab that out of here. Again, I took the butter out early, so I'd have this. I took the egg out so that it would be, already whipped. Sorry, there we go. So it says to mix the butter and the sugars and the egg. So I've got half a cup of, I've got cane sugar, but you can use white sugar, white granulated sugar. Sorry, I'm tongue-tied today. Thank you so much for stopping by. I want to know where you're tuning in from. I hope that you're having a good day so far. I love Fridays. It seems like a little bit lighter. It's, the start of the weekend. I always love to, to do this. It's something fun, and, all our families here on Fridays. Okay, and the last thing, so I've got, that was half a cup of brown sugar, and then the last one is 1 egg. And I don't think I have to, and the vanilla. Yes, I'm going to add the vanilla as well. So I've got 1 teaspoon of vanilla that I will just get in here as well. So let me blend those all together. And then the second thing is going to be the dry ingredients, and they'll be mixed all together in the other bowl, in the medium bowl. So tell me, what is the weather like where you are? I am here and we are getting beautiful weather again. I think it's going up to 7 degrees, positive 7. We've just been having such crazy weather. We had a really warm January, then start of a cold February, and now we're kind of coming out of that cold snap. Our snow is melting. I can see it outside. The sun's shining. And again, I think we're going to be up to about 7, maybe even 8 degrees today. So that's exciting. Although not exciting for if we want to do the outdoor activities like the snowboarding out in the mountains. So that's the one thing that's a drawback. But hopefully the mountains will be a different temperature, and the kids and Derek can get out snowboarding this weekend. That would be wonderful. It's been, as I say, the weather has been up and down, and when the weather has been good, we haven't had the time, or vice versa. So now we're just experiencing, this warm thaw, and makes it difficult for doing those kinds of activities. Okay, so it's coming together here. It is a bit of, a bit more work, but again, I believe that it'll keep the cookie together better as well. I'm just trying to smooth out the butter because you want to make sure that it's all incorporated. So I'll just let you see sort of where I'm at. And but if feel free. If you want to use the hand mixer and you feel it's easier, by all means, you can certainly do that. I like, with a cookie, I've just, over the years, I've discovered that you don't want to overblend the cookie because it might splat, in the oven, if you know what I mean. Okay, so that I'm going to set aside now. Okay, and then I'm going to grab my medium bowl. And now this one is going to be mostly the dry ingredients. So I've got a cup of oats that I'm going to throw in here. And I've got 3/4 of a cup of flour. So not too much flour, which is pretty nice. And half a teaspoon of baking soda. And I put the salt in there as well. Just a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Just gives it that extra little bit of a flavor. And what salt does is actually enhances the flavor. And I think that's about it for now. I've just got to combine those all together. And then I'll be adding in the chibbits and the nuts and the cranberries. So, and here's the other thing. For this, you can substitute the cranberries for another dried fruit. You could have it all chocolate if you want. The entire amount, a cup and 3/4 of chocolate chips. And you can also change up your walnuts to another nut that you like. Maybe pecans. I ran out of pecans. I love that nut. Hazelnuts, almonds. What's another one? I haven't tried cashews. I was actually wondering how that would work out. I would have to test that first to make sure. All right, so I've got all the dry ingredients here. They're all mixed together. And now I'm going to stir in as I mentioned, the chibbits and the cranberries and the nuts. It seems like a lot, but actually once it's all combined, it will be wonderful. And it's going to be a thicker consistency for your cookie. So what I normally do is I'll use a dropper. I just find it a lot easier. You can always use 2 teaspoons or 2 tablespoons as well, and just, wipe one off the other. That's also, I used to do that in the past, but then I like the quick release. And then all the cookie the dough comes out, and it's just a little bit faster to be able to do that. Okay, so this is what it's looking like now with the dry. And we've got all the ingredients are looked after here. And now I'm going to grab the wet ingredients, and then we're going to add the dry to the wet. And that's the reason for having such a big bowl, is so that we can incorporate all of it together. There we go. Okay. what is it that you do on Fridays? What do you do something different for yourself? I just love Fridays for the reason that, I don't know, it's just, as I mentioned before, it's closer to the weekend. Most people are in a different, lighter type of mood. There's a different energy around. I don't know if that's the same for you, but I certainly feel it around here. And again, you can't go wrong when the sun's shining, right? All right. And now if you're from Canada, did you enjoy a nice family day weekend? We're still on family week. We took the kids out to a movie last night, which was really fun. We haven't done that in a while. And it was actually a later movie. It didn't start till 9:40. But we thought, you know what, it's nice to be able to do that. They didn't have to wake up early. Normally weekdays is hard for that and weekends are busy. So we thought, let's go on a Thursday and, see what we can do. And the theater was practically empty. I couldn't believe it. And it's really nice because they have it was like a throwback Thursday, they called it. Although the movie was just in December, it wasn't that old. It was called ISS. So a little bit of a thriller, which we were surprised at, but nonetheless, it was really, really good. And I stayed awake for the entire time, so I always say that's a good indication of, of a good movie. All right, so if you're joining me for the first time, I'd love to know where you're tuning in from. We're global here, and I love to know, hey, is it warmer weather than here? Because that gets me excited too. I love the summer. That's me. I just love the warmer weather. Okay, I just want to show you what it's coming together like. See that? It's nice and chunky and full. And I've got, as I mentioned, we've got chocolate chips, we've got walnuts, and we've got cranberries. All right, so now I'm going to grab the baking sheet and I'm going to start to drop them by, they say tablespoon. So that would be like the size of the scoop that I have here. So I'm just going to make some room here. And we're almost finished for right now. So I'll just put a few on here. Usually I'll do about 12. I love this this particular sheet. I think I got these from Costco. There was about, I think, 3 or 4 packs, something like that. And it's great because then it's a good space measurement. So you know what's going to fit where. Okay, so I'm going to try this. And then what I might do is just form it a bit better because they are a little bit falling apart. So I will do my best to make sure that they stay together. And you want, a little bit of each. You want a little bit of cranberries in there. You want a little bit of chocolate. You want to incorporate all of it together here. So, and of course, my family loves Fridays. You can see why. They get to be my taste testers and, experience a new recipe. I usually try to do something different every Friday. So I've never doubled up since I started this. So, again, go back. You'll see there's scones, there's loaves, there's like a bread type of thing, squares, cookies, you name it. I've done it all. So whatever's to your liking. Oh, and brownies and blondies. The blondies would be like the vanilla version of. I do butterscotch. My favorite are like a butter. I put a twist on my blondies, and so with those ones, you actually have score bits and butterscotch chippets and the white chippets. So you've got a combination of all three. So I love those. That was one of that was my grandma's favorite recipe of all time. So anytime I had the opportunity, she would ask me to bake that for her, and I loved it. I loved knowing that I was baking something that she enjoyed and that I could do that for her. So yeah, we used to spend a lot of time together. When she was still here, she actually made it till she was 96. So she spent a very good life. She had a very good life here, and always helping, always assisting others, and always wanting to give back. And so I try to do the same. So you know what I'm going to do here? I'm going to actually roll them in a ball because I'm finding that it's probably going to keep together better. Again, it might be different for you, but this is just a trick that I've learned over the years as well. If you find that your cookies are a little bit falling apart, just give them a little bit of a squeeze, and that way they'll stay together when they're in the oven as well. And remember, it's only 10 to 12 minutes, so it won't be too long for it to bake. And so give me one more second and I will continue on with this. And I'll just show you what they're sort of starting to look like here so you can see. We tried to do the two view version with my son again this morning, but unfortunately, my husband's computer was acting up, so we had to do it live again today. We were going to do sort of a recording so that you could see the different views rather than just seeing me talk and seeing the edge of the bowl here. So that's okay. I wanted to, make sure that I made an appearance here, so here we are. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put those in the oven. And again, I'm going to look at it between 10 and 12 minutes. So depending on how hot your oven is, some people's ovens aren't as hot, so you might want to leave it in longer. But it's always good to, a good practice to look at it at the earliest amount of time so that you're not going to overcook them. So that's, a really good tip. Well, anyways, thank you so much again for stopping by. I hope that you enjoyed this session with me, and I hope that you'll go back and grab the recipe and prepare this for your family as well. And if you have any suggestions on a future recipe, I'd love to hear it. Just put it in the comments, and I'll come back here and I'll certainly, grab that from you and see what we can do to implement that. All right, guys, well, take care. Have a wonderful rest of your Friday, and we'll come back on here again next Friday for Foodie Friday. See you then. Bye for now.